All right, ladies and gentlemen, so Dragon Age the Veilguard is trying to be touted already, as we kind of knew that was going to happen, as a major, massive success, right? The gaming journalists are trying to push this game as it's going to be the biggest game of the year, because at the end of the day, this will be the game of the year, right? This will be the game of the year for every single damn near award show. But Dragon Age the Veilguard has started to track upwards. I will admit that. If you look at the Steam DB page, currently at the time of filming this video, it is number 26 in the top seller list. You know, this is the actual top seller list, but what the gamer's about to tell you is complete and utter nonsense.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
What these gaming journalists are trying to do is they're trying to prop up Dragon Age the Veilguard as if everybody's pre-ordering it and everybody's loving it, but at the end of the day, when they compare it to other things, they're doing it by removing the actual competition. It's the weirdest thing. So let's get into this article, guys, but of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. Again, guys, it's all about making things look as good as they possibly can, and I'm going to preface this video with this because I know I have a lot of lurkers and I know I have a lot of haters, and that's okay. We love you too. Thank you for the support. When it comes to Dragon Age the Veilguard, I've always said that my estimations, and again, I could be wrong, my estimations is this game is probably going to sell between 1 to 2 million copies. That's what I'm thinking this game is going to sell, and that's over a course of probably anywhere from 2 weeks to a month. I gotta imagine it's going to take to sell 1 to 2 million copies for a Dragon Age game, right? Especially since Dragon Age is one of those games where, yeah, sure, there's a lot of woke nonsense to it, absolutely. But this is one of the first where they're going full head on with it. Inquisition had its moments, of course, but this particular Veilguard game is the first one where they're going full modern audience with it. So obviously there are going to be some people who are playing Dragon Age, the franchise, and they're not necessarily going to want to admit that something's wrong, right? They're kind of like Star Wars fans in the beginning, right? When Star Wars fans started to notice things were going downhill, there was a lot of people that were like, no, well, maybe the next one will be better. Maybe the next one will be better. And right now, they're hoping that this one is not as bad as people are saying. And obviously, we're not going to find out until the game releases, and I actually play it, unlike the modern audience, which will happen on Griffcast. So it says Dragon Age the Veilguard is primed for a strong commercial showing later this month, as it currently sits on Steam's third most pre-ordered game. Now, again, third most pre-ordered game. Okay, so I love it. I love it. I love the way that they tried to showcase things, man, because they really want this game to look as strong as humanly possible. Just to remind people, it's currently number 26 in the top seller list, and it also only has 69,000 followers on Steam. I need you guys to understand something. This number right here is extremely important. We have showcased this in so many videos. The amount of followers absolutely does correlate to the amount of sales that you are going to get in the game in general on Steam. It's not looking good, right? To be at 69,000, the concurrent player count is probably going to be anywhere from 20 to 30,000. That's always been my estimation. Could be lower, could be higher, who knows? But I'm thinking 20 to 30,000 is where the game is going to fall concurrently. And also, you guys got to keep in mind, this game is available for free in multiple different outlets, right? It's available for free on EA Play. It's available for free on NVIDIA GeForce Now. So you have this, you have a way to be able to get the game without actually having to physically buy the game, and also being able to play the game without it necessarily counting towards your Steam concurrent player count. But overall, with consoles too, you can play the game on console. So at the end of the day, this game, like I said, 1 to 2 million sales is where I'm thinking it's going to be ultimately. And obviously it's going to be probably around 1 million in the forefront, and then 2 million by the end of the holiday season. People saying, oh, well, Inquisition sold 12 million, so this game's going to do that. Yeah, good luck with that. I really don't know if that's going to be the case. Only 2 games have sold more at the moment, those being gaming juggernauts in Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and Sonic X Shadows Generations. It's exactly the same story on PS5 too, shutting down claims on social media that Dragon Age the Veilguard is selling poorly. It doesn't shut down anything, actually. I know you want it to, but it doesn't shut down anything, because at the end of the day, we have to wait for the game to actually sell before we can know whether or not it's selling poorly or positively. So you can't call us liars when you're trying to do the same exact thing by saying the opposite and then claiming it to be true. We all have to wait until the game comes out before we find out what the actual sales are. Hopefully, as a journalist, you actually go buy the game instead of just hoping to get a free copy by maintaining your media access. Dragon Age the Veilguard needs to be a hit for the developer BioWare. Let's just reiterate really quick. It doesn't need to be just a hit for BioWare. It needs to be a hit for the gaming journalists, okay? Because the gaming journalists, who are the modern audience, they need this game to succeed. They absolutely have attached themselves to this game, and now they are considering it to be the poster child of their movement, right? Just like they thought they could attach themselves to Baldur's Gate 3, they're doing the same thing with Dragon Age: The Veilguard. But I would argue Dragon Age: The Veilguard is actually woke versus Baldur's Gate 3, which just because it had gay relationships doesn't make it woke. Again, if you think having gay relationships makes the game woke, then I have to ask you, do you think having straight relationships makes it anti-woke? Exactly. So after 2 high-profile disasters in Mass Effect Andromeda and Anthem, the studio needs a winner to remind everyone that it's one of the best studios in the business when it comes to single-player narrative-driven RPGs. It's not. It's not anymore, unfortunately. I wish it was, because again, I was a massive fan of BioWare. Huge fan. It was a day one purchase no matter what they put out in the beginning. And then once Mass Effect 3 happened, it became a sus company. And then once Mass Effect Andromeda Anthem happened, it became only buy on sale company. Then it says that the Dragon Age Veilguard is a great way to do that. And regardless of the game's overall quality, it looks as though BioWare has a commercial success on the way. Yeah, so regardless of the game's overall quality, so do you admit that the game might be shit, but it's gonna be a commercial success regardless. But you never do it the other way around, right? You never do it the other way around, where a game might actually be decent, but you won't admit it's a commercial failure. You never do that, right? First spotted by Reddit user called It's Leno, it seems as though Dragon Age: The Veilguard Steam sales are already looking very strong heading up to its release later this month. If you head on over to the current top sellers list on Steam and ignore all the games that have already been released, what the fuck, bro? What kind of... Oh, man. No way did you write this thinking that nobody was going to laugh at this. There is no way. There is no way. What do you mean ignore all the games that have already released? This is a top seller list, my guy. This is a top seller list. You can't ignore all the games that are already out. What the fuck? There's no way. You guys got to be laughing with me right now. There's no fucking way. Let me know in the comments. There's no way, bro, that they just did this. Oh, hey, the game's a top third pre-ordered game on the top seller list. If you ignore every game that's already released, bro, what kind of narrative spin is this? This proves that the gaming urinalists absolutely need this to be a win. They're so desperate for this to be a win. And I'm telling you right now, even if it's not a win, even if the game doesn't sell well, right? Even if it only does 20 to 30,000 concurrent players, that is not going to be the win that they need, but they're going to spin it anyway. They're going to find a way to make it seem like it's the most successful game of all time, just like they're trying to do now with faking pre-order number lists. This is insane to me. Call of Duty and Sonic the Hedgehog are absolutely gigantic franchises, so there's absolutely no shame in trailing those titles either. Dragon Age was a massive franchise. How sad is that, right? The fact that you're bending over and just taking it in the ass from Call of Duty and Sonic the Hedgehog without trying to have any fight in you whatsoever. Be like, oh, well, they're too big, so, they're just going to be ahead of us no matter what. That's just taking it on the chin, my guy. Dragon Age never used to have to do that. Dragon Age was a top-tier seller. Just look at all the previous titles, including Inquisition, which did 12 million units. It's also worth noting that while both games have been out for a few weeks, Dragon Age: The Veilguard pre-orders are higher than recent sales of both Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 and Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, 2 of the year's most popular titles. Not bad going by. Bro, what? What are we talking about? This is insane to me. Stop. 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 Dragon Age: The Veilguard doesn't have anywhere near the follower count that Dragon Ball Sparking Zero or Warhammer 40k had. You realize how important that is? The amount of people that are actually interested in the game, it is not even close, my guy. This is such an insane media spin. I'm not even going to bother continuing because it's obvious that what they're trying to do is make Dragon Age: The Veilguard look as good as possible, and they're going to claim, well, you're trying to make it look as negative as possible. And while that might be the case, it's not my fault that it's fucking easy to make that happen, considering that these people are absolute losers who are running this studio right now. So listen, at the end of the day, both you and me, we just have to wait. That's it. October 31st is going to come out. We're going to find out what the Steam concurrent player count is. You guys know where my real estimations are. Let's hear what yours are. Oh, you don't put any. Okay, so anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it if you could like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.